Hey guys, it's Denise from LoomaHat.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do the textured tile stitch. For more information on the pattern or for a list of supplies, go to LoomaHat.com/textured tiles or in the video description below. Keep in mind that this video only includes the stitch pattern and not a project, and so there's no cast on or cast off. The textured tile is a multiple of 15 plus 6, but to make this video easy enough for beginners, we're only going to do stitches 1 through 15. So beginners, all you have to do is repeat the 15 stitches as many times as necessary to get the width of your project. Alright, let's start at the beginning with a row of knit stitches. I've already started my row, but you begin with your edges with peg 1. And I'm knitting from left to right using the Uwrap version of the knit stitch. Now to do the knit stitch, you're going to take your working yarn and half wrap your peg and knit off. Again, half wrap and knit off. Now this stitch can get pretty tight, so stay with me and I'm going to show you a trick to do this stitch where it's a little bit more loose, and continue your row until your last peg. For row 2, you're going to be knitting from right to left because we're knitting flat, and we're going to start the stitch pattern with 6 knit stitches. And I've already started my row, so make sure you start at your edge. And remember that I told you that I was going to show you a trick with that Uwrap. Well, you turn it more into an Xwrap, which means you come almost completely around the peg, and that will give you a more loose stitch than to only half wrap the stitch. Alright, and after those 6 knit stitches, you're going to have 1 purl stitch, and then we're going to knit 7 stitches. Now I'm calling them X stitches, and there's no such thing, so don't look it up. I just made that up. I'm calling it an X because it kind of creates an X when you completely wrap the stitch. So you could say I kind of made it up. Alright, but it works. So after those 7 knit stitches, you are going to then knit your purl stitch, and you're going to repeat these 15 stitches as many times as necessary for your project. Like row 1, row 3 is all knit stitch. So from your first peg to your last, you are going to use a knit stitch for that row. And once you're done with that one, you're going to move to row 4, which looks a lot like row 2. Okay, so you're going to knit 6, purl 1, knit 7, purl 1. And like I said before, you notice that I'm starting in the middle of my loom, but you're going to start your project from your first peg to your last peg, and you're just repeating these 15 stitch pattern until you have the width that you want. And I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I did put some videos at the bottom. I've recommended a couple of videos that will help you with this concept if it's hard for you to understand. You're going to find those links on the website, on the web page that I gave you at the beginning, and at the description section of this video below. For row number 5, you're going to knit the entire row. And remember that you can always pause this video to see the stitch pattern for each row as you knit. So you don't have to just let it run. You could just stop it and look at the written instructions for the particular row you're on. Like in this case, row 6. It's a bit hard to just memorize knit 6, purl 1, knit 7, purl 1. So you could just stop the video at this point and finish that row. So we're going to start this row with those 6 knit stitches, and you will notice that I do put those instructions at the bottom, and so you can follow along if you are a speedy knitter. I don't actually knit this fast. I am forwarding this pattern So here's my purl 1, and I forward the video not to bore you. I don't actually knit this fast. I wish I did, but I don't. Alright, so we're going to knit those 7 knit stitches, and if you notice, row 6 looks a lot like row 2, but things are going to change, so don't just think that this is it, this is the pattern. No, things are going to change. So you're going to purl 1, and then we're going to move to row 7, which again is a row of knit stitches. So you're just going to knit the whole row, and after you're finished with row 7, things change a bit for row 8. So pay attention, because just when you thought you had this pattern all memorized, you get a purl 7, knit 7, purl 1. If you notice, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that I am putting the instructions for the stitches on the screen. So again, you could just follow me as I knit based on the instructions on the screen. Like right now, you purled 7, and now you're going to knit 7. And I made a little boo-boo there. So you're going to knit 7. And at this point, I think you understand that you really don't need my verbal instructions. You can actually follow this pattern just with the pattern on the screen. Like right here, you're going to knit 9. So if you're not a fan of my voice, because you're not my parents or my kids, then you can just turn the volume off and follow what you're reading. Okay, this is row 22 and it's the last row of the pattern. All you have to do again is repeat the 15 stitch 22 row pattern as many times as necessary to complete your project. When you're done with the project, do stretch out the stitches so that they look correct. I hope you guys like this stitch pattern as much as I do. On my loom, what you're looking at right now, I'm working on a washcloth, and this pattern will be available at my store. Just follow the links on the website or in the video description below. Thanks a lot. Remember to comment, leave any questions that you have, like the video, subscribe, and return. Until next time, bye.